What up, everybody? Welcome to the Sim and Singh Show. Today we got our new series started called the Punjabi Pulse, where every Thursday we're going to talk with Dr. Sandhu here about health in the Punjabi community and overall health and everywhere.
Yeah, that's good.
So, welcome to a new series.
Welcome.
I think we're progressing. Every week we got new series coming.
We got new guests.
Yeah.
Subscribers are keeping up.
Yeah, we're hitting the subscriber mark, so make sure you keep hitting that subscribe button, and let's get into the conversation today, this Thursday. So you wanted to talk about...
Yeah, I want to talk about infertility, guys. So I see a lot, and I emphasize a lot because, ਸਾਡੀ community ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ want to conceive in their 20s to 30s, right? So normally ਫੈਮਲੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 2 ਬੱਚੇ, right? ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਇਹੋ ਹੀ ਚੱਲਦਾ, like what, 2 kids, right? ਕਿ sibling ਹੋਵੇ, ਭਰਾ ਭੈਣ, whatever. Problem ਇਹ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ we're not getting pregnant. ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਜਨਾਨੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ pregnancy ਦੀ problem ਬਹੁਤ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ. And actually, I think it's a combination of, well, stress for sure, but lifestyle. And in lifestyle, I mean diet and exercise is huge.
Huge.
It's huge because ਹੋ ਕੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ exercise ਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇ, ਉਧਰੋਂ ਸਾਡੀ diet ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ majority ਕੀ ਆ, ਰੋਟੀਆਂ and ਸਬਜ਼ੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ maybe too many alus, like potato, like carb-based stuff. ਚੌਲ not so much, ਚੌਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਨੇ. And obesity ਵੱਧ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਮੋਟਾਪਾ. ਤੇ ਮੋਟਾਪਾ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਸ 'ਚ ਫਰਕ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਹਾਰਮੋਨ 'ਚ ਫਰਕ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ, ਉਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮੈਂਸੀਜ਼ ਆਫ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ. ਜੇ ਮੈਂਸੀਜ਼ ਨਾ ਆਏ, ਓਵੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ, ਓਵੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਾ ਹੋਈ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਗਨੈਂਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ.
Menses is your
period, your monthly cycle. So which in Punjabi we call date ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ, right? So it's a very broad topic. ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਖੋਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ, ਲਾਈਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਡੀਪ ਡਿਟੇਲ 'ਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, then ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਰਮੋਨ ਟੈਸਟ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਬਟ ਜਸਟ ਬੈਕ ਅਪ ਫॉर ਅ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਆ, ਰਾਈਟ, ਆਪਾਂ ਹਰ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਆਂਡਾ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, what I call egg health. ਸੋ ਆਂਡਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ, to put it very plain and simple, right? ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬਾਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਰ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਆਂਡਾ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ. ਆਂਡਾ ਫਰਟੀਲਾਈਜ਼ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਪ੍ਰੈਗਨੈਂਸੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ. ਨਾ ਫਰਟੀਲਾਈਜ਼ ਹੋਇਆ, ਮੈਂਸੀਜ਼ ਆ ਗਏ, ਰਾਈਟ? So that's it. That's the very plain and simple of it. But ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਂਡਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਆ, ਉਹ ਟੈਸਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ. So you can't do your hormone FSH, LH, prolactin, progesterone, testosterone and estrogen. ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਾਰਮੋਨ ਦੇ ਟੈਸਟ ਆ ਨਾ, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਸਟ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਓਵੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ. ਬਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਕਚੁਅਲ ਆਂਡਾ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਰ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਓਵਰੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆਂਡੇਦਾਨੀ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਆ, ਬੱਚੇਦਾਨੀ ਵੱਲ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ, ਉਸ ਆਂਡੇ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਆ. That's actually what I want to focus on. And ਉਸ ਆਂਡੇ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ from your environment and what you're putting in your body.
Right.
So majority ਆਪਾਂ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ, there's a really good book actually. It starts with the egg. It starts with the egg is a really good book. ਉਸ book ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ focus ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ on your egg health. So what I tell women first off is ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਟੈਸਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕਿ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਟੈਸਟ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁੱਡ ਨੇ, and they still can't get pregnant. ਟੈਸਟ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁੱਡ ਨੇ, ਥਾਇਰੋਇਡ ਵੀ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਆ, ਐਸਟ੍ਰੋਜਨ ਵੀ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਆ, ਪ੍ਰੈਗਨੈਂਸੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ? ਓਕੇ, ਓਵੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ, ਮਹੀਨੇ ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਓਵੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਪੀਕ ਵੀ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, everything is there, and they still can't get pregnant. So that's where that unexplained fertility comes in. Unexplained fertility is nothing's wrong with you, you just can't get pregnant. It's really actually quite fascinating. Sperm analysis ਵੀ normal ਆ, ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ sperm ਵੀ normal ਆ. So ਗੱਲ ਘੁੰਮ ਘੁਮਾ ਕੇ ਜਨਾਨੀ ਤੇ ਡਿੱਗਦੀ ਆ. And it's actually funny, culturally, something's wrong with the woman, always. A lot of the time, actually, surprisingly, I do see abnormal sperm samples, but that's another story.
Yep.
Sperm sample ਵੀ abnormal ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ because ਬੰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਵੱਲ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ. Obesity. What do you see a lot with people that sit? What do our guys do a lot? They drive
a truck or taxi or
and
Uber,
they sit.
yep.
ਉਹ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਭਾਰ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਆ, ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ, ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਫਾਸਟ ਫੂਡ ਖਾ ਲਿਆ. So your sperm get abnormal just based on that. And same thing with women. ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਜਨਾਨੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਆ ਕਿ ਲਾਈਕ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਖਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆਂਡਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ 'ਚ ਫਰਕ ਪਾਊਗਾ. ਇਹ ਪੱਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ. How can you fix it? So ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਰਾਈਟ? That's the common question. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਵੱਲ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ? Fix your diet. So if you want like bullet points, cut back on your carbs. Start eating more vegetables. Start eating a clean diet. You know what helps your egg health and primes your fertility? A lot of fish.
Fish.
Salmon.
Yeah, salmon.
Right? And ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਆ, what is it ਕੀ ਆਂਦੇ ਆ ਮੱਛੀ ਗਰਮ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ
Oh yeah, it gives you like your body like
heat
heat.
garmaish paida kardi ya, something like that, just like badam and these things. But in terms of thodi conceive karan ਲਈ pregnancy karan ਲਈ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਲਈ ਚੰਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ. Why? Because omega 3s. We're looking for fish oil. We're looking for fish oil. So either eat it from the fish or take omega 3s, doesn't matter.
Supplement.
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ vegetarian ਆ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ supplement ਖਾਓ, right? Vitamin ਖਾਓ ਆਪਣੇ. So, I mean, that's, I would say the basic of it is really trying to prime your health. You know what other things affect? Apa carbs di gal kiti hai na, roti, aloo, pasta, bread. You know what's the other one? Jadi ki sadi Punjabi di diet vich dahi, dud. Milk and milk products have, especially if you have regular milk and it's not organic or something,
Right.
what's that cow taking in? Right?
Right.
Hormones and injections and who knows what else.
Right.
So you have to think about ਕਿ ਉਹ ਦੁੱਧ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, because ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੁੱਧ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਹੀਂ ਜਮਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਖਾਣੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਚ whatever you're doing with that, that isn't probably a healthy source of dairy. Dairy is a big one. Dairy and gluten. I tell women, if you want to get pregnant, get off those two. Get off dairy, get off gluten. How hard is that in a Punjabi diet?
That's very hard.
Very hard.
Oh, and sugar. Third one, sugar. Khand.
Well, even with dud, there's lots of khand in there.
Right. How do you get off? Sadi khuraak de vich tusi roti, khand, chini and dudh band karo. It's not possible.
Apne loki, I also feel like that's a good point. Like they don't even like, if you tell them like change your diet, they're almost like oni hona.
ਉਹ ਹੋਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਣਾ. That's the other thing.
It's like they know more than you almost.
Yeah. ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ resistance ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਨੂੰ from the community ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਰਕ ਪੈਣਾ, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੁਰਾਕ ਆ, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ. If you tell a Punjabi person, especially the newer sort of wave of immigrants or people coming in, quinoa, they don't even know what quinoa is.
Yeah.
They just don't know. It's a grain and it's super, super like power packed, right? High level of protein, right? All your essential amino acids, they don't even know what it is.
But they're very resistant to like...
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਆ. So then we have to say ਕਿ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ, where do you get it from, like what aisle of the grocery store, and how do you cook it? They don't know how to bulk up quinoa so that it becomes a healthy alternative to roti, right?
Quinoa is great.
So good. So good. So, you know, if you throw quinoa together, like let's just, you know, with a bunch of veggies, that's so healthy. And you will notice, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ diet ਤੇ exercise ਵੱਲ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, we start to see women's cycles normalize.
Really?
Their periods start coming back. They start having regular. And other thing, which again, maybe some people call it like voodoo or whatever, is your mental health. Meditation, doing things to ground yourself so that you're less stressed. What does stress do? It increases your cortisol levels. Cortisol ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ? ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਵਧਾ ਲਈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ cortisol ਵੱਧ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ. ਜਦੋਂ cortisol ਵੱਧ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ again ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਂਡਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, and ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਫਿਰ cycles ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ, and that in turn will affect your ability to get pregnant. It's actually impressive how many women in their 40s can get pregnant by focusing on these things versus women in their 20s. The amount of unexplained fertility that we have in our young generation, ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ young ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, 25 to 32, 33, it's crazy. High levels. And they don't know where to start. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰੀਏ, because they're so desperate to get pregnant. Because once that age gap, you know, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ 6 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਨਿਆਣਾ, 7 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਨਿਆਣਾ, 8 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ, the pressure is on. ਕਿ ਇੰਨਾ ਗੈਪ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਉਮਰ 'ਚ, ਮੇਰਾ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਬੱਚਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ, right? And then ਫਿਰ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਵਧਾ ਲੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, and that all is just a rabbit hole.
How much does age play a factor in this?
It does play a role, don't get me wrong. ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗ ਜਿਉਂ ਉਮਰ ਵੱਧਦੀ ਗਈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆਂਡਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਸਾਇੰਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਂਡੇ ਘਟਦੇ ਨੇ, ਬਟ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਆਂਡੇ ਬਚੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ. So let's say ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਆਂਡੇ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗ ਘਟਦੇ ਨੇ, that's true, but ਜਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਬਚੇ ਨੇ, there's a way to make each one of those eggs a good egg, right? That's where we're losing. And then, the other thing happens is ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ IVF ਵੱਲ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, which is again, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ like ਆਂਡਾ ਤੇ ਸਪਰਮ ਮਿਲਾ ਕੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, right? ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕੋਲ ਜਾ ਕੇ, that's IVF, right? So ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ IVF ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, then ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਰਮੋਨ ਹੋਰ ਇੰਜੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਓ ਰਾਈਟ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਪੂਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਇੰਜੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਦੋਂ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਸਾਈਕਲ 'ਚ ਕਦੋਂ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਜਨਾਨੀਆਂ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ 'ਚ ਪਾਗਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ
It's expensive too, isn't it?
It's so expensive. Marital health pay नहीं करती, so you're paying
It's
out
not
of pocket.
covered, right.
And ਇੱਥੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੱਕ fertility clinic ਹੈ Heartland Fertility. So ਉਹਦੀ wait list ਕਿੰਨੀ ਆ? So we see people ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਚੱਕਰ 'ਚ we see people going Dubai, Greece, where have I had other patients go? All over the world. All over India too.
Yeah.
Go to India.
India too.
So you know ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ unexplained fertility ਆ ਬਜਾਏ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੋਡੀ 'ਚ ਹਾਰਮੋਨ ਪਾਓ IVF ਵੱਲ ਜਾਓ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਕਰੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਵੱਲ ਧਿਆਨ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ 'ਚ ਖਰਚਾ ਪਾਓ that's what I would suggest. I think I mean it works. I've seen it work.
Yeah, there's some simple things you can just put into your life pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I mean you can do expensive stuff too. ਮਹਿੰਗੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੇ like acupuncture, that's expensive. But acupuncture also ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਚਾਈਨੀਜ਼ ਮੈਡੀਸਨ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟੀਕੇ ਲਾਉਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਆ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ acupuncture ਆਨੇ ਆ that is also very very effective for egg health. Really effective.
Really?
Primes your body. Yeah, it just gets rid of the stress, stabilizes, balances your hormones and brings you just up to better health.
But there's lots of things you should be doing at the same time. Almost like
yeah.
you know,
I can't say कि एक चीज
exercising,
हाँ
eating properly.
एक चीज नाल नहीं फर्क पड़ना सारियां करो. So अपनी diet वाल भी ध्यान दो अपनी खुराक वाल भी ध्यान दो. Those are the two most important, like your diet, खुराक and your exercise. ये सब तो ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨੇ. ਭਾਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਫਤੇ 'ਚ 2 ਦਿਨ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ ਕੱਢੋ ਨਾ just a walk, like 20 ਮਿੰਟ ਦੀ walk ਹਫਤੇ 'ਚ 2 ਦਿਨ ਕੌਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ. That's the thing. That's what you need to do. Tell your partner, apne husband, partner, jo bhi hai, unna nu aakho ki mainu aaj 20 minute chahiye hai.
I was gonna say like.
Can't you get 20 minutes from your partner?
I feel like the problem is like even Punjabi women want to do something. Or another दिमाग च भी वो गल आ गई कि मैं exercise करूँगी या I'll cook something different today. I feel like the Punjabi men are so like there's such a strong voice in that dynamic.
I know.
They're like, "Nee, only main khana," or "I'm not going to do that," or "I'm not going to go exercise." So they're very like pushy that way.
They are pushy.
And the girl right away is like, "Chalo,
she gets demotivated.
and it's done," and she won't go back or open that door again because he's just too powerful, too controlling, and to some degree manipulative, and it's just going to be like, forget about it.
I mean, it's the whole patriarchal society, right? Like you come from India where there's just this male dominance. But the thing is ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ then ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ ਕੁਝ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੀ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ. If you want to see results, then I'm sorry, you can't just eat.
You got to take charge of your
do.
health, no matter what your partner says.
No matter what your partner says.
I mean, it
and
would be
that
nice
is
if
taking
they
a
could
stand.
come on board too.
Of course, but ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੀਰ 'ਚ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਪਰਸਨ ਦੀ opinion ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ. ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ body ਆ.
Like even with like our own like family, like I've told a family member like, you know, stop eating so much roti.
Roti.
But every time I say don't eat that much roti, nahi main te din ch ek vadi khana. But yeah, he's so out of shape.
Out of shape, yeah.
But when he eats one time, it's either late and it's like panj fulke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't be eating that much.
No.
And in the afternoon, it's fulke. Evening, it's fulke.
And you know what's like, worse? Dietary check wala khana.
That's the worst. And he always says,
metabolism.
No,
that's not the point. That's worse for your metabolism because your metabolism has nothing. So what happens is, जो तुसी dietary check वरी खाने आ ना, थोड़ी body starve हो जाती है. And जो तुसी एक वरी खाने आ, थोड़ी body उस चीज़ नु छाड़दी नहीं है. You're not going to burn those calories properly.
And then they don't exercise.
And they don't exercise.
So
it's a double. It's like a disaster. Yeah. So I mean, I really feel like if you need, I mean, जे थानू होर guidance चाहिए, I'm happy to talk about it. एक बहुत important topic है because साडी community च ਜਿਹੜੀ infertility है ना, pregnancy ना होनी, ये बढ़ रही है.
So I'm going to ask, because I'm going to bring it to the community, because we're on community right now. In our community, the big, in our community, it's blamed on the women that they can't get pregnant. How much of that is like, you know, the men's are at fault?
50 to 70%.
Men control a lot of that stuff.
50 to 70%.
A lot of
I'm telling you, 50% ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਦੇਖੋ ਬੱਚਾ ਦੋ ਇਨਸਾਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ, right? I mean, you need two components, even if you don't have the physical human being, you need two components. ਜਿਹੜੀ sperm ਆ ਬੰਦੇ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ sperm ਦਾ sample ਆ and ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਆ ਉਹ 50%, 50 ਤੋਂ 70, up to 70% of men have abnormal sperm samples that can affect the production of the child. That's a high number. Cholesterol, diabetes. And cholesterol, diabetes ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਚ ਵੱਧ ਨੇ? In my population, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਬਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਨਤਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ majority ਬੰਦੇ ਬਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. Construction ਦਾ ਕੰਮ, it's there, but ਇੰਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ.
I feel like
And it's shocking because the guys that are sitting are the ones who are like, "Sam to kuch nahi hua," right?
Yeah, I feel like, but it goes even deeper.
It's
like
an ego.
It's an ego, but it's also like Saturday when like I am big into like working out, but I'm very rare. There's a lot of in the
rare,
Punjabi culture, I see it so much. There's so many guys that just and bande like that are married with kids. They've never done it. They don't start. Like it's from back home. It's not a culture of staying fit or like exercising. It's just not there.
Well, and the worst thing is I mean, again, ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ side topic ਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, but it's related. ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ job ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਬਹਿਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਬੀ stress ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ? ਇੰਨੀ ਕੱਪ ਪੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕੱਪ ਡੇਲੀ ਪੀਨੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਹਫਤੇ 'ਚ 2-3 ਵਾਰੀ ਵੀ ਪੀਨੇ ਆ, what does that do to your body? It's all sugar.
I feel like it's also
in a week, how much do you drink?
I don't drink.
See?
Yeah.
Like in a week, how much do we sit down and be like, ajapa beer pini ya, ja wine, ja whatever. But is population de vich apa note karte hain ki hafte ch pina, again we go back to that alcohol, is normal. So ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਨੂੰ sperm ਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ.
If the bande like took a step forward in the dynamic of the Punjabi man and woman, I feel like it would really help the women.
It would help the women immensely.
If he's on board, I can do this. But it's so difficult when your partner is like, nahi, main nahi karna. And then what are you going to do, man? Like,
ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਬੰਦਾ demotivate ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. And ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ, honestly speaking, think about it. The act of producing a child, making a child, the act of having sex, right?
Yeah.
Like it becomes stressful. You see how those don't match?
Yeah.
You're stressed out, but you're trying to conceive. It doesn't work. I'm telling you, it's very stressful for these couples because it takes away the whole romance or whatever you want to call sex life. If they have one.
That's another episode.
That's another episode.
I have some things on that.
Because like,
how many women actually? No, this is really funny. I had a patient, and we'll talk about this another time. Segue into women not knowing what an orgasm is.
Yeah, you know why? Because
don't say it.
Because segue, this is the last thing, is because Punjabi men, when I say Punjabi men, I mean the ones that are mostly from India, like grown up in the Pind, not from here generally.
Just want to get done.
They just want to have an orgasm, and they don't give a flying rat's tail. Okay, if she's having one, doesn't have one. It's so mechanical. And I have girls that have told me that. Like, like, I'll tell you.
It's so mechanical. It is mechanical.
It's mechanical. Yeah. And they're like, and this person that I know, she's like, because we talked about it, and she's like, oh, no, koi fark panda ke menu, like, if I'm even enjoying it, 0.
That's so
it's
bad.
Absolutely ridiculous.
You know, what about,
I can't talk about it already. No,
let's talk about it next time.
So we're gonna send us your comments because that's a good episode.
It is orgasm.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
I won't be on that episode, but they will be.
Okay, so we should talk about it.
We'll do it.
So great episode. We'll do it once a week. So send us your questions, comments. Don't hate. Because apne logan nu hate karna te bahut changa lagda hai. But positive stuff, try to keep it there. So like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys.
Send your questions.
Yeah, send us questions. We'll see you in a week.
Yeah, every Thursday for the Pulse.
Punjabi Pulse.